For this session, our first session, we will discuss about the Rationalized Planning System, or the RPS, and the Comprehensive Development Plan. So, ang question po primarily is, bakit ba natin kailangang mag-rationalize? O ano ba pag sinabi natin na rationalize? Anyone po? Yeah. So, bakit natin kailangan mag-rationalize? It is to fully implement the implication of the Local Government Code of 1991 pertaining to planning. As mentioned nga po kahapon, planning is an integral part of governance. Hindi po natin may implement yung full mandates ng local government, ng LGU, ng Local Government Code, yung imposition ng Local Government Code sa ating mga LGUs kung hindi tayo magpaplano. At rationalizing the local planning system will enhance the LGU's capability to perform its dual functions. Ito po, number 1 sa ating question. Ano ba yung sinasabi natin na dual functions ng LGU? First, we have a political subdivision of the national government. Dito po sa first function na ito, sinasabi na ang LGU ay in charge sa management ng entire territory. Geographical po, territory, spatial, in nature, for and in behalf of the national government. So, para naman po sa function as corporate entity, ang LGUs po ay responsible for representing its inhabitants and promoting the general welfare among its inhabitants within territorial jurisdiction, or yung nakapaloob nga po sa ating General Welfare Clause or Section 16 of the Local Government Code, and delivering basic services and facilities na embodied naman po sa Section 17 ng Local Government Code. So again po, yung dual functions ng LGU is a political subdivision, arm po, kaakibat or kabalikat ng national government sa pag-manage ng its entire geographical territory. So again, spatial. Pag corporate entity naman po, yan, representatives tayo ng ating ang LGU, representatives ng ang kanilang mga inhabitants ng constituents. So, ang clause po nito sa Local Government Code ay Section 16 at saka Section 17. So, tama po ba kayo sa inyong sagot sa question number 1? Marami daw po ang nalito dun sa first question. So, yun po, ang dual function. So, kailangan natin ng pagpaplano upang magampanan ng LGU itong kanilang dual functions. Political subdivision as a corporate and as a corporate entity. However, despite that, kaya po din natin in-endeavor na ma-rationalize yung planning system kasi ito yung current state of local development plan. Sa ngayon po, yan, inactive daw yung Local Development Council. Sa inyo po bang mga LGUs, inactive po ba? Ito po ba ay, wait lang po meron daw po, Local Development Councils ay inactive. So, it's up to you na lang po to determine kung ito ba ay applicable sa inyong LGU. Another scenario po ay indifferent daw or unsupportive yung local sanggunian. And lack or total absence of vertical linkage. So, isa po dun sa ini-endeavor ng rationalization ay yung tinatawag nating alignment of plans. So, vertical po ito from the LGU papunta sa province through their PDP-FP at yung NGA plans po natin or yung tinatawag po natin na Philippine Development Plan. Ayan. So ano ba yung additional na scenario sa ating local planning? So kasama din dito yung competency of local planning team. So marami or most doon sa ating mga local planning team ay hindi sila capacitated on their functions sa planning. And ito karaniwan po ito, yung sunod, lack of manpower and resources for the formulation of the CDP. Kasi more often than not, si MPDC, yung office ni MPDC, ay overwhelmed na rin sa iba pang functions doon sa LGU. Sabi nga po natin, yung heart ng planning talaga sa LGU ay nakalodge doon sa planning office. And sectoral plans are prepared independently of the CDP and CLUP. Ayun nga, aside doon sa kawalan ng vertical linkage, yun din, yung sectoral plans natin, walang relationship doon sa CDP at saka sa CLUP. Ito yung karaniwan talaga na nirereklamo ng ating mga LGUs, yung multiplicity of plans due to NGA-mandated thematic and sectoral plans. So, sino po ang makakahula? Ilang ba yung prepare na plano? NGA-mandated at saka thematic at saka sectoral plans na prepare ng LGU. Tingin niyo po ilan? Pwede niyo pong gamitin yung chat box po. Pwede rin po kayo mag-unmute kung alam niyo po kung sigurado kayo sa sagot. Kaya sabi ni Sir Henry, 33 daw. Qualified na Sir Henry na sumagot? Ayan. So, as of now po, meron tayong 33. Ayan. 33 LGE-mandated at saka other sectoral thematic plans. Pero ito po ay patuloy na dumadami. Tama po ba sa ating mga MPDC? For LGE-mandated plans, we have 22 and other sectoral and thematic plans, we have 11. So those plans po ay prepare independently or walang relationship at all dun sa ating CDP at saka sa ating CLUP. And of course, ito pa, mainstreaming requirement of sectoral and thematic issues and concerns in the plan. So ito nga pong ating ginagawa ngayon ay mainstreaming or may focus ito dun sa ating tinatawag na risk lens or DRR-CCA lens. On top of that po, meron din tayong GAD requirements, meron din tayong peace and order requirements na kailangan nating maipasok, ma-mainstream doon sa ating plano, sa ating two mandated plans, sa CDP at saka CLUP. Yan, no compliance of CDP formulation. So isa po ito sa dahilan din kung bakit po tayo ay na-target ngayon ng mga LGUs. Lack or total absence of horizontal linkages among sectoral concerns. So ito na nga po yung na-mention ko kanina. Hindi magkakasabay yung pagpaplano and weak plan to budget linkage. Meron naman pong kaso na maganda yung plano. Kasi nagpatulong sa consultant o nagpagawa sa consultant. Pero yung plan, document lang kasi hindi siya nata-translate into budget. So, weak plan to budget linkage. So, i-share ko po ngayon sa inyo, kung nakikita po ninyo, ito po yung status ng CDP compliance as of January 2020. So, ito sa record, sa monitoring po ng DILG, LGMed, ni Maropa LGMed. So, ito po yung mga updated and for updating or ongoing updating na CDP. So kung mapapansin niyo po, ito yung isa sa mga naging criteria natin kung bakit kayo po ay napili as target LGUs. For Maropa po, we have updated na 44 or 60%. At yung 29 po or 40%, ito po yung for updating, maaring wala without CDP or ongoing updating. So ang basehan po ng datos na ito ay yun din pong sinasubmit natin for SGLG. Sa CLUP naman po, ang status natin, meron tayong 34 LGUs with approved CLUP or zoning ordinance. 34 din po yung with approved CLUP or zoning ordinance, pero currently updating or submitted for review sa PILOC. At 5 po yung walang plano. 3 sa Romblon at saka 2 sa Palawan. That's for CLUP. So ito po, September 18, 2019. Kasi po, kung maalala niyo po, dahil dun sa creation ng Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, yung HLURB po, HUD-C, ay napasok na po doon sa department na yun po. And as of first quarter po, wala pang tao po, wala pang manpower for the SUD ni Maropa. Ayan. So, in rationalizing po, to address po yung mga na-mention nating mga current state and scenario ng ating local planning, meron po tayong tinatawag na Rationalized Local Planning System. Ito po ay merong 4 na components. We have planning structure, planning mandates, planning process, and authority levers or tools for plan implementation. So isa-isahin po natin itong components po ng local planning system. Ang local planning system po or the rationalized planning system, sumasagot ito sa katanungan na sino ba dapat ang involved sa planning. Bakit ba kailangang magplano ng LGUs? Paano ba prepare yung mga plans? At saka, ano yung mga tools na kakailanganin natin or gagamitin natin para ma-implement yung ating plano. So, the local planning structure and their function. So, ito po yung tinatawag natin na diagram or the local planning structure. So, nahahati po siya sa dalawa. Una, we have political component at saka we have technical component. Under po ng political component, meron tayong Local Development Council. So sa Local Development Council po, nandito yung ating LCE as chair of the LDC, all po ng barangays, congressman or his or representative, at saka CSOs and POs. Sa tingin niyo po, ilan yung POs, base po sa local government code, ilan po yung provision for the CSOs or POs? Sige pa, type po natin sa chat box. One-fourth? Ano po yung sabi po ni Ma'am Ranisa, one-fourth. Ano po yung exact na nakalagay sa ating local government code? One-fourth of the ano po? Yung one-fourth po ba? Sakto po siya na one-fourth? Sige po, gamitin po natin yung ating chat box. Ayan, so sabi ni Sir Dennis, not less than one-fourth of the full council or the full composition ng local development council. So yun po, at least one-fourth. So yung one-fourth po, ay yun po yung floor, hindi po yun yung ceiling. So pwedeng magdagdag ng CSOs or POs yung ating local development council. At isa pa po, kung mapapansin nyo, wala doon sa composition yung SB chair on appropriation. So dapat po, part din siya ng ating local development council. Pero dito sa ating diagram, kasama siya doon sa local sanggunian. So punta naman po tayo doon sa technical component. So tinatawag po talaga natin na workhorse noong planning. Sila yung nag-a-assist doon sa political component in the formulation ng ating plan. So we have local special bodies natin. So pwede po ba tayo mag-enumerate ng mga local special bodies na meron sa ating LGU? Sige po, try natin gamitin ang ating chat box. Ano-ano po yung mga local special bodies na meron tayo na created sa ating LGUs? Local School Board, tama po. Local Health Board. Yes. What else po? Ano po yung mga local special bodies? POC, tama?
Red.
Sa ibang LGUs po?
Led. Meron din tayong
Led. Apo. Yung MPOC, tama po. What else po? Ayan, MDC na nga po, yung Local Development Council. LCPC for Children, tama? Maraming salamat po sa aking mga kabatch. Ayan. So, yun po yung mga samples ng local special body. So, mapapansin nyo po, part sila noong local planning structure kasi nga dapat sila ikabahagi din, yung ating mga local special bodies, ikabahagi din sa plan formulation. And then for sectoral, may humabol pa, Solid Waste Management Board. Okay, tama po. So, kabahagi din po noon ng local special bodies, yung tinatawag nating sectoral and functional committee. So, binubuo po ito ng mga department heads, ng LPDO, mga NGAs po na nag-ooperate dun sa LGU, and private sector representatives. So, kung mapapansin po natin, yung pagpaplano, hindi lamang siya ginagawa ng isa or dalawang tao. Kasi nga, we have the structure para masabi natin na inclusive yung naging proseso ng ating pagpaplano. So ano po ba itong functions ng ating Local Development Council? So LDC in plenary, sila po talaga yung naatasan na mag-formulate ng development plans and policies. So formulate public investment programs, sa kanila rin po ito. na appraise and prioritize programs and projects, formulate investment incentives, coordinate, monitor, and evaluate implementation of development programs and projects. At para naman sa barangay development councils, yan, mobilize people's participation, prepare barangay development plans, and monitor and evaluate national and local projects. Para naman sa executive committee, when not in session, ang ating pong LDC ay pwedeng mag-create or inatasang mag-create ng executive committee. So they represent the LDC when not in session, ensure that the LDC decisions are faithfully carried out and actions on matters needing immediate attention by the LDC, and formulate plans and policies based on policies and programs based on principles and priorities laid out by the LDC. Sa Secretariat naman po, sino ang Secretariat ng LDC?
MCDO.
Taas po ang kamay ng Secretariat ng LDC. Yan, syempre alam na alam. MPDO. Or, yung office mo ng MPDO, ang in charge na maging secretariat or to provide technical support doon sa LDC, document proceedings and prepare reports, other support functions as may be necessary. So yung heart nga po ng planning, LDC ay nasa ating pong MPDO, sa office po ng MPDC. And others, for sectoral and functional committees naman po, yan, ang primary role natin is to assist the LDC in the performance of its function. So basically, katulong po, kabahagi, or kabalika tayo ng ating LDC, ng ating sectoral and functional committees. Okay po. Ganon din po, sa ating rationalized planning system, meron tayong 5 development sectors. So yung ating plan, ating pong sectoral and functional committees ay nahahari sa 5 development sectors. So we have social sector, economic sector, infrastructure sector, environment and natural resources sector, at institutional sector. Mamaya po, during our workshop processes, i-divide po natin kayo, i-group po natin kayo according po sa inyong province by sector. Yan. So ano po ba or sino-sino ba yung suggested composition ng ating sectoral committee? So for social, yan, ito po, we have LPDO, Social Welfare and Development Officer, POSO, Public Peace and Order and Safety Officer, LDRRMO, and LDC representative. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na Core Technical Working Group, Expanded Technical Working Group, at saka full-blown sectoral committee. So ito po, depende sa LGU. Minsan kung available yung
Talasanta ka rin. Talasanta ka ba ikaw eh?
Ayan, so pa-mute na lang po. Okay. So kagaya po nung na-mention ko, depende po ito sa availability noong sectoral committee members na magiging part noong ating sectoral development committee. So for economic sector, yan, for core technical working group, we have PESO, agriculturist, tourism officer, co-op development officer, LAPO, LPDO staff, yan, and LDC representative. So pwede po tayong mag-expand ang LGU. They can expand the composition or they can go full-blown. So sa physical or land use, yung tinatawag po nating infrastructure sector, ito po yung ating suggested composition. So we have local engineer, zoning officer, LPDO staff, LDC representative at the barangay, LDC representative ng CSO, sangguniang representative, at saka local architect. So the expanded technical working group, so nakalagay din po dito. Okay? For environmental management naman po, yan. So, kung mapapansin nyo sa full-blown, pwede natin isama yung ating mga environmental advocates. So, we can have our BIPAR representative from national government agencies. And sa core technical working group, nandiyan naman po yung ating MENDRO, yan, or representative ng PENDRO, or sangguniang representative. And for our institutional sector, yan. So karamihan po dito ay on the expanded technical working group. Nandiyan si HR, si treasurer, si budget, si assessor, si accountant, si ISED, or academic representative dun sa institutional sector. Yung academic din po, pwede doon sa social sector. And question po so far, pagdating sa local planning structure. So we have po yung dalawang component. We have the political component and technical component, and we have the 5 development sector. So sila po yung mga involved. Kayo po yung mga involved doon sa plan formulation, doon sa planning. So kung wala pong questions sa chat box, so mag-proceed po ako. Bakit pa kailangan magplano ng ating mga local government units? So sabi dito, dahil siya ay mandated. Pero anong batas yung nagmamandate doon sa LGU natin? So sinasabi po na meron tayong 2 mandated plans under ng local government code. So first we have the natawag po nating comprehensive land use plan, or the plan with which an LGU manages its entire geographical territory. So again, this is in the fulfillment po noong pagiging ano pong dun sa dual function. Kung management ng geographical territory, it's the LGU as a political subdivision of the national. Ako po yung chat box. Ayan. So sabi ni Ma'am Tina, political subdivision of the national government. So the local government unit, sabi ng Section 20 of the Local Government Code, shall in conformity with existing laws continue to prepare the respective comprehensive land use plans enacted through zoning ordinance, which shall be the primary and dominant basis for the future use of land resources. So sabi po dito, kailan po na-enact yung local government code? Kailan po na-enact yung local government code? Anong taon po? October 10? Ayan, sabi po, tama po yung October 10, pero 1991 po. 1991 po. So ilang taon na po from now? Gano'ng katagal na po yung local government code? 28 years na po. Magti-29 years na po yung local government code this October. Pero nakalagay po dito, sabi dito, shall continue. Ano ba? Yan. Continue to prepare. Ibig sabihin po, even before 1991, nagpe-prepare ng ating mga LGUs ng comprehensive land use plan nila. However, kung babalikan po natin yung status po ng submission ng ating CLUP, meron po tayong 5 LGU sa Mimaropa na for 29 years ay hindi pa sila nakapag-formulate ng kanilang comprehensive land use plan. So, medyo alarming po yung datos na ganon. Ang CLUP po, binubuo siya nitong ating tinatawag na 4 policy areas. So we have protected areas. So ito po yung division or management ng ating land resource. So for protected areas, we have NIPAS or non-NIPAS, protected agricultural and environmentally constrained areas. For settlement areas, ang tinatawag nating space for living, we have urban, rural, at saka IP settlements. Yung infrastructure naman po, or yung tinatawag nating exchange area, yan, nandito yung transport network, social infrastructure, economic infrastructure, at saka administrative support. For production areas naman, or space for making a living, agricultural, industrial, commercial, and tourism. So ito po yung bumubuo ng policy areas ng comprehensive land use plan. So next po, we have comprehensive development plan. So sinasabi dito, ng section 109 ng Local Government Code, the Comprehensive Development Plan is the plan with which the LGU promotes the general welfare of its inhabitants in the capacity as a corporate body. Kung kanina po, kung political subdivision, ini-implement siya sa pamamagitan ng Comprehensive Land Use Plan, ang CDP naman po ay ginagamit to promote the general welfare of its inhabitants as part noong function niya as a corporate body. So each LGU shall have a comprehensive multi-sectoral development plan to be initiated by the LDC and approved by its sanggunian. So yun po yung comprehensive development plan. And for this 4D activity po, we'll be discussing primarily kung paano ba natin bubuuin yung ating comprehensive development plan. So yung ating pong CDP, sabi nga natin, meron siyang 5 development sectors. And each development sector, meron siyang sub-sectors. So for social, we have population and social services. So enumerated po dyan, education, health and nutrition, social welfare and development, shelter, public order and safety, sports, recreation, arts, and culture. For economic naman, we have primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, at informal sectors. Sa institutional development naman po, meron tayong 4 na sub-sectors. So we have organization and management. This pertains to HR po natin. Human resource. Fiscal management, so kaya pupasok dito yung budget, treasurer, accountant, legislative output, dito naman po mapasok yung sa sanggunian. And LGU, CSO, NGO, NPO linkages. For infrastructure sector naman po, meron tayong 3. Kung mapapansin natin, lahat ito ay support. Ang infrastructure development po ay support doon sa ating iba't sector. So we have economic support, social support, at saka administrative support. For environment and natural resources naman, enumerated dito yung lands, forest lands, mineral lands, parks, wildlife, and other reservations, water resources, air quality, at saka waste management. So, yan. So may humahabol pa rin po sa sagot kung kailan ba daw na-enact ang local government code. Sige po. So yan yung subsectors under those 5 development sectors. So kung mapapansin po natin, kaya nga yung comprehensive development plan ay comprehensive siya kasi it all-encompassing siya. Mapapansin natin itong ating NGA mandated plans at saka sectoral thematic plans, kung babalikan natin yung sub-development sectors na nandun sa comprehensive development plan, makikita natin na meron siyang relationship or pasok na siya doon sa 5 development sectors na dapat ay nandoon included sa ating comprehensive development plan. So sample po natin, nutrition action plan. Sa tingin nyo, doon sa ating 5 development sectors or subsectors, saan siya papasok? Nutrition action plan. Social sector, tama po. Pero saan po specific sa social sector? Anong subsector? Sige po, Ma'am Tina, inintay ko po yung sagot mo. Ayan, sabi ni Sir Dennis, Ma'am Sonia, nasa health and nutrition, tama po yun. Magbigay pa po tayo ng another example. Sa tingin niyo po yung L-Dream Plan, saan siya papasok? L-Dream Plan, saan siya dapat? Saan po ang L-Dream Plan? So dito po siya sa environmental sector. Saan po particular sa environmental sector ng L-Dream Plan? Ayan. So pwede po siya sa environmental sector, pwede rin po siya sa social development sector under public order and safety or shelter. Or pwede rin siya sa infrastructure sector. So yan, irrigation system. So pwede siyang, it cuts across other development sector. Kahit hindi po siya sa isang sector mo lamang siya makikita. Another example po, yan, solid waste management plan. So titingnan natin, makikita na agad natin yung solid waste management plan must be lodged under subdevelopment, environmental and natural development sector under yung waste management. So again po, kaya nga dapat yung ating comprehensive development plan ay comprehensive kasi it all encompasses itong mga NGA mandated at saka thematic plans. So pamamagitan ng pag-involve natin or pag-include natin itong mga sub-development sector. So dapat po walang sektor na maiiwan. Walang sektor na hindi maisasama doon sa planning. Doon din po pumapasok yung kahalagahan ng pag-involve din natin ng ating mga local special bodies dun sa ating plan formulation. So, proceed na po tayo. Plans that should be integrated into the CDP. So, yan. Plans that require intersectoral function. So, nakalagay po dito, local poverty reduction action plan, disaster management plan, sustainable development plan, gender and development plan, food security, integrated area community peace and order, public safety plan. So, intersectoral po siya. Ito naman yung plans that falls within the concerns of individual sectors. So, action plan for children, annual culture and center plan, agriculture and fishery management plan, local tourism plan, small and medium enterprise development plan, at saka HRD plan. So ito, specific siya doon sa sector, sa subsector na kabibilangan niya. So dahil po doon, dahil nga sabi natin, all-encompassing yung ating comprehensive development plan, so ito yung mga input documents na kakailanganin po ninyo pag nag-actual na kayong plan formulation, comprehensive development plan formulation. So we have CBMS data. Mahalagang-mahalaga po ito. Dapat meron kayong CBMS data na magagamit for planning. SGLG Governance Assessment Report. Ito po yung resulta nung saan bang areas kayo pumasa or hindi pumasa doon sa SGLG assessment. Yan. We have CIDRA. So ito po yung main focus natin dahil nga po risk-informed comprehensive development plan yung gagamitin natin, dapat meron tayong CIDRA. Kahapon, during our workshop, meron naman tayong mga LGUs na nag-signify na meron na sila, tapos na yung kanilang CIDRA. LCCAP po, or yung Local Climate Change Adaptation Action Plan. And maps and graphics preparation, socioeconomic profile or ecological profile na ginamit natin sa pag-formulate ng ating comprehensive land use plan. Yung tinatawag po nating Rationalized Planning Indicator Dataset or RAPIDS and Local Indicator Data System or yung LDIS. And admin data from respective offices. Kung hindi talaga natin makulate siya at the planning level, so pwede natin itap yung mga admin data mula sa ating mga sa offices po ng ating LGU. So ito, input documents for CDP. So as much as possible, sana po ngayon, bago pa man tayo magsimula doon sa ating actual na planning workshop, yung sa seminar workshop nyo po sa LGU nyo, dapat na ihahanda na natin itong mga documents na ito. So proceed po tayo sa ikatlong component ng rationalized local planning process. So we have local planning process or the overview ng CDP formulation process. So yung approach po natin sa CDP formulation, as much as possible po, participatory siya, consultative, at saka inclusive. Sabi nga natin dito, multi-stakeholder participation. Hindi po isang tao lamang o dalawang tao, isang office lang po yung gagawa ng ating plano. So dapat participatory, consultative, at inclusive. So dito po yung pumapasok yung kahalagahan ng participation ng ating mga CSOs, NGOs, and members, representatives ng ating local special bodies. So ito po yung CDP process. Ito po yung cycle po ng plan formulation. So ilang steps po ito. So nakikita niyo po, ilang steps po siya. Ayan. So makikita po natin yung steps po ng CDP process ay 14. Pero meron po tayong tinatawag na step 0, yung organizing and mobilizing the planning team. So throughout our discussion po, dadaanan natin itong mga proseso na to. Pagdadaanan niyo po through the workshop processes itong mga CDP process na to, CDP steps na ito. Ayan. And yung 14 steps po, dinivide natin siya into 5 major steps. So yung step 1 natin is organizing and mobilizing the planning team. Step 2 po natin ay revisiting existing plans and review LGU vision. Step 3 po natin is preparation of the ecological profile and structured list of PPAs. And step 4 natin ay prepare the LDIP. And step 5 ay prepare implementation instrument. So again, dadaanan po natin itong proseso na ito. So hindi ko na po i-elaborate. And last but not the least, ating components ay yung tinatawag nating authority levers or tools for plan implementation. So again, yung ating pong plano, plan lang siya, document lang siya, unless otherwise meron tayong authority levers or tool para i-implement yung plan, mananatili lang po siyang plano. So ano ba yung gagamitin natin para i-implement ito? So for comprehensive land use plan, meron tayong zoning ordinance. As for comprehensive development plan, makakabuo tayo ng sectoral and thematic maps. So we have investment programs, LDIP at saka AIP, and regulatory measures and other authority levers. And other implementation instruments such as monitoring and evaluation, PAPDEV, and the likes. Yung ating po tinatawag na legislative requirement. So ito mga implementation instruments natin na ito yung gagamitin natin to implement yung ating mga plano. Like comprehensive land use plan at saka comprehensive development plan. Ayan. So mahalaga po, bago tayo mag-proceed, sabi ko nga po, naulit ko kahapon, ngayon po, hindi na lamang presence or absence yung labanan pagdating sa comprehensive development plan. Ayan. So we have assessment of comprehensive development plans per component cities and municipalities by virtue of the DILGMC number 2018-172. So issued po ito noong October 8, 2019. So ano po ba yung purpose? Bakit natin kailangang i-review or purpose nitong issuance po nito? So we would like to ensure compliance of cities and municipalities in the formulation and preparation of their CDPs to prescribe guidelines and processes. Facilitate harmonization of local development plans. Ito na po yung tinatawag natin na vertical alignment doon sa national priority trusts and development strategies. And we would like to emphasize po yung role ng province sa local development planning as an oversight partner of the national government. And also, we would like to strengthen the relationship of province and its component cities and municipalities as partners in local development by facilitating plan, complementation, and augmentation. Ito po, maaalala niyo po sa ating mga MPDC, nung gumawa tayo ng tinatawag natin na provincial results matrices or yung ating municipal commitment. Maalala niyo po yun? So, magitan po ng mga plans, mga programs na na-identify natin dun sa LDIP, we can ensure po yung complementation and augmentation ng province doon sa ating mga cities, component cities, or municipalities. And last but not the least, emphasize the role of local plans as a measure for future qualifications and provisions of performance grants and incentives. So, baka po dumating yung araw na magkaroon na, isama na rin yung assessment criteria, gaano ba compliant yung ating comprehensive development plan doon sa ating mga prescribed guidelines and processes. So, ito po, for future qualification and provision of performance grants and incentives. So, ano po ba yung parameters? Ano yung check doon sa ating CDP? So, una, sa form. Kompleto po ba yung form? At saka tama po ba yung mga templates na ginamit ng LGU dun sa kanilang comprehensive development plan? So, sa process, sabi ko nga po kanina, ayan, dapat consultative, participatory, at saka inclusive. At saka nandun din yung organizational at institutional process. So nasunod po natin yung CDP process or CDP cycle. And for content, ayan, so we have substance and logic, clarity and comprehensiveness and alignment of the CDP to the PDP and PDIP. Baka po kasi yung ating mga programs ay hindi naman aligned doon sa mga na-identify natin na issues and concerns or problem at the beginning po ng ating planning process. So dapat po cohesive yung ating PP identification doon sa ating mga na-identify na mga issues and concerns. So we check po yung logic. Sino po ang magkakandak ng CDP assessment? Ayan, yung ating po tinatawag na Technical Assessment Committee. Ito po ay sa provincial level. So the provincial governor as chair in the PDC shall issue an executive order creating the CDP Technical Assessment Committee. So, a-assist naman po yung ating CDP TAC ng ating tax, tinatawag po natin na secretariat. Nakalodge naman po ito sa office ng PPDO. So, ito po yung mga members ng CDP Technical Committee. So, paano po yung magiging proseso ng pag-assess ng ating comprehensive development plan? So, si Governor shall issue the notice for CDP submission, and then the city municipal mayor shall submit the Comprehensive Development Plan. Ayan. So, desk assessment lamang po ito. The CDP TAC ay i-assess, magkakaroon ng desk assessment dun sa na-submit na CDP ng LGU. So, after po nun, mag-endorse ng accomplished CDP assessment checklist forms and provision of results of assessment. So, 5 processes lang po yung dadaanan ng ating CDP assessment. So again, yung revised schedule po natin, by end of September 20, mag-i-issue na po ang provincial CDP TAC po natin ng notice para sa submission ng CDP. And at later ng December 15 of the current year, dapat ma-endorse na rin po yung assessment results. Initially po, yung CDP assessment, sa ngayon, ang purpose pa lang nito is to inform updating noong comprehensive development plan. So pwede pa na draft CDP yung isa-submit mo. Tapos based doon sa assessment results, you can inform the updating or yung packaging ng iyong comprehensive development plan. So let's compare and contrast po yung CDP at saka CLUP. So for CDP assessment, ang legal basis po natin ay yung DILG-MC 2018-172. For CLUP, yung EO number 72. The CDP po, yan, status of plans to be reviewed or assessed ay approved. Pero in some cases po, in some provinces, pinapapasa na rin nila kahit draft ba lamang. For CLUP, yan, draft CLUP siya. And review ng assessment team, yan, CDP TAC, assisted by TACs and chaired by PPDC. Sa CLUP naman po, we have the PILOC. So linked to LDC or Sangguniang Panlalawigan, yung CDP po ay in special function under the PDC. Ang CLUP naman ay attached to PDC. Sa pag-assess po ng CDP, pwede lang po, hindi mandatory na invite yung ating mga MPDC or CPDC. Samantalang sa CLUP po, mandatory. And transmittal of findings, yan. Si Provincial Governor shall transmit yung official findings sa City or Municipal Mayor. Sa CLUP naman po, findings and recommendations to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan para as basis ng kanilang decision. So time frame, naulit ko po kanina, hindi na ito May, September na po ito, end of September. And CLUP, within 3 months after ma-review, within 3 months dapat ma-review yung kanilang CLUP. Ayan, questions po sa ating rationalized planning at saka CDP assessment? Sige po. Meron po bang questions? Gamitin po natin yung ating chat box. Questions po, clarifications, bago tayo magpatuloy. Wala na pong katanungan, ay magpo-proceed po tayo sa ating next topic. Yung tinatawag po natin na CDP+. Ayan, so ngayon po, dadako na tayo sa ating discussion ng CDP+. So, ang CDP Plus po ay guidelines sa paano ba natin ma-mainstream yung ating DRR-CCA doon sa ating Comprehensive Development Plan. So, sabi ko nga po kanina, meron tayong mga mainstreaming concerns, mga mandated sectoral or thematic concerns na dapat ay maipasok natin sa Comprehensive Development Plan. Isa din po sa reason kung bakit primarily ay gusto nating ma-mainstream or in-endeavor natin na ma-mainstream yung DRR-CCA kasi po, di ba yung pangalan po ng plan natin is Comprehensive Development Plan. So, nakapokus lamang po tayo on LGU's development. Pero based on studies po, nai-impede po or naapektuhan yung LGU development dahil sa mga hazards or sa mga risk na tumatama or nararanasan ng isang LGU. Like for example, yung nangyayari po sa atin ngayon, with the pandemic po, yung COVID-19, na-impede po noon yung development. So that is why mahalaga po na meron tayong tinatawag na risk lens doon sa ating development planning. Paano tayo makapag-mitigate? Paano tayo makapag-adapt doon sa mga risk, mga hazards na expose yung ating LGU para natin tuloy-tuloy po yung development ng ating LGU. So start ko na po yung discussion. So ito nga po, CDP Plus, kasi nga siya ay risk-informed. Okay po, so outline po ng presentation natin ay ano yung background, yung CDP Plus, salient features at saka content. So ito nga po, ang project na ito is an expansion program of Project Climate Wind Phoenix implemented by Climate Change Commission in partnership with HLURB and UNDP and OSA. So yan, developed from 2016 to first quarter ng 2019 under po ng tinatawag natin na RAPID. So RAPID program is envisioned to strengthen the capacity of local government units affected by Typhoon Yolanda. Noong una po kasi, pilot lang natin ay yung mga LGUs doon sa naapektuhan ng Typhoon Yolanda and their coastline communities to manage risks from and adapt to the overall impacts of climate change toward resilient and sustainable development. So yung RAPID po, CDP Plus, yung guidelines on Mainstreaming DRR-CCA. And so output number 4 po siya ng Mainstreaming Climate Disaster Risk in Land Use and Development Plan. So initially po, meron tayong 12 pilot LGUs from the Yolanda corridor. Yung heavily affected po ng Yolanda, sila po yung initial na target LGUs natin. So ano ba yung salient features ng ating CDP Plus? So ginagamit po natin dito sa CDP Plus ay the same local planning illustrative guide yung in preparing and updating the comprehensive development plan. Na surprisingly po, sa ilang LGUs po na napuntahan po namin, marami po yung hindi aware dun sa presence nitong local planning and illustrative guide. Sa inyo pong LGUs ba, nakita nyo na po itong, ito po, yan, local planning illustrative guidebook. Nagamit niyo na po ba ito in your planning formulation po? Previous planning formulation activities? Ayan, so sabi ni ma'am from El Nido, yes daw. Ayan, very good naman po. Ayan. And also, in DRR, ayan. In CDP Plus, gagamitin din po natin yung CLUP guidebook, yung supplemental guideline on mainstreaming CCA or DRR in the CLUP. Yung salient features po nito, ang SIDRA po natin na ginagamit, same lang din po doon sa supplemental guidebook ng HLURB para doon sa pag-mainstream ng DRR-CCA sa CLUP. Also, built on the CDP illustrative guide. And entry points of integrating SIDRA results outputs in the comprehensive development plan. So, yun lang po ang gagamitin natin. Yung illustrative guide, yung CLUP guidebook, at saka yung results po ng ating SIDRA. Konting enhancement doon sa CDP template. And of course, yung last po, doon sa review parameters na na-discuss po natin kanina, ano na yung risk-informed, ano po yung parameters for risk-informed comprehensive development plan. So, yan. So, ito yung content po ng ating comprehensive development plan plus or yung ating risk-informed CDP. So, sabi ka po natin kanina, yung ating 14 steps, nahati siya sa 5 major steps. And in order for us to mainstream fully yung ating DRR-CCA, meron tayong tinatawag na mainstreaming matrix of thematic concerns in the local planning process. First, we have to integrate into existing database. Yung DRR-CCA po, dapat pasok siya doon sa ating existing database. Ano po ba yung main database ng planning na ginagamit natin? Ito yung ating ecological profile. So from the get-go, dapat nandoon na yung DRR-CCA sa ating database. Nandoon na siya sa ating ecological profile. Pangalawa, include in the current structure and planning process yung DRR-CCA. So sa planning structure, dapat involve yung may concerns for DRR-CCA. and translate in reviewable documents and provide necessary authority levers. So dapat makikita rin po, magmamanifest din dito sa ating mga documents. So na-present ko kanina na authority levers, yung DRR lens or yung ating tinatawag na risk lens. So pasadahan ko lang po ng konti itong steps on DRR, although magkakaroon din tayo ng mas malalim na discussion for this one. So ang una pong step natin sa CIDRA, ito po yung CIDRA steps natin, ay yung collection and organization ng climate change and hazard information. So ginagamit po natin dito yung sa DOST Pag-asa data to project climate project changes in climate variables tulad ng temperature and precipitation, kagaya din po ng extreme weather events. So yung collection ng hazard information, like records of previous disasters that contain information on hazard events. Yung affected barangays, casualties, damages to houses and properties, which are to be characterized and analyzed the trends of disaster. Pagdating naman po nung sa step 2, scope the potential impacts of disasters and climate change. Dito ina-identify natin ano ba yung magiging impact ng disasters and climate change doon sa ating LGU. Sa step 3 naman po, ito yung bulk, ito yung chunk noong malaking parte ng CIDRA. Kasi dito, magde-develop na tayo ng ating tinatawag na exposure database kung saan kailangan natin ng mga attribute data, baseline map para sa CIDRA, exposure, sensitivity, at saka adaptive capacity map. So dito po natin yung gagamitin sa step number 3. For step number 4 naman po, and 5, ito na yung analysis natin. Based dun sa data na makokollect natin from step 3, yung exposure database development, i-analyze po natin siya. First po, sa kaliwa, meron tayong conduct ng climate change vulnerability assessment. So ginagamit natin dito yung tinatawag nating framework for intergovernmental panel for climate change. Yung framework po na yun to assess climate change vulnerability sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin dun sa iba't ibang indicators ng exposure and sensitivity, as well as yung adaptive capacity ng LGU. So makukuha po natin dito sa step number 4 ay qualitative analysis doon sa current and potential impacts ng climate change to different exposed elements ng ating local government units. Samantalang po yung kabila naman, yung step number 5, yung disaster risk assessment, ginagamit natin dito yung UN risk framework, kung saan mine-measure naman natin yung risk sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin dun sa severity of consequence and probability of occurrence ng specific hazards. So, ang dulo po nitong lahat ng ito ay yung sa step 6. So, kung saan po, isa-summarize natin yung findings, both, i-combine na natin yung findings for step 4 and step 5 sa step 6. So, summarize findings, and dito, mag-identify din tayo ng mga interventions based doon sa mga hazard risk at saka climate change assessment na ginawa natin. So, ito po, in a nutshell, yung steps for CIDRA. Kung mapapansin din po natin, itong framework na ito, it harmonizes yung harmonization framework ng CLUP, CDP, and CIDRA. Kung mapapansin po natin, yung CIDRA po, i-zoom ko lang po ng konti. Yan. So kung mapapansin po natin yung CIDRA, nasa gitna siya ng CLUP at saka ng CDP. Ibig sabihin po nito, yung CIDRA as an assessment tool for DRR and CCA, pwede natin siyang magamit sa pag-enhance or pag-mainstream ng DRR-CCA both for CLUP at saka CDP. In the same manner po, mapapansin natin dito sa ating framework, yung steps 1 to 3, both for CDP at saka itong comprehensive land use plan, halos pareho lang po yan. Same lang po na organize and mobilize, setting the vision and review existing plans, at saka yung preparation ng ecological profile. Kung saan, very, very important po na maipasok natin, magamit natin yung results for CIDRA. Kung mapapansin din po natin dito sa may gilid naman, ayan, yung L-Dream Plan at saka yung LCCAP. Anong ibig sabihin po nito? Pwede pong si L-Dream Plan or si LCCAP is a standalone plan from the CDP or CLUP, or it can be a derivative plan. So kung siya po ay standalone, so papasok po standalone. Ibig sabihin meron na tayong LDRIM plan at LCCAP. Ang gagawin po natin, ipapasok natin or i-integrate natin yung results ng LDRIM plan at LCCAP papunta sa ating CDP. At kung wala naman po, i-derive natin yung LDRIM plan at LCCAP from the CLUP using kung naka-mainstream po yung results ng ating CDRA. Okay po, malinaw po ba yung ating framework? So, harmonization framework of CLUP and CDP. In the same manner po, ayan, kailangan muna, bago tayo mag-proceed doon sa preparation ng ating comprehensive development plan, ma-assess muna natin, nasaan po ba yung LGU nyo? Ano ba yung scenario, ano po ba yung planning scenario ng inyong LGU? For first scenario, sabi dito, without CDP or outdated yung CDP and without CLUP. Ano ba yung dapat na action ni LGU? First, kailangan po muna mag-conduct ng CDRA or prepare the enhanced CLUP parallel with the CDP. And use this guide, and itong CDP plus to mainstream DRR-CCA into the comprehensive development plan. Scenario number 2, without or updated yung CDP, pero meron siyang CLUP, pero hindi siya naka-mainstream. So, yun, mandatory pa rin ang pag-conduct ng CDRA, update to enhance CLUP parallel with the CDP. And ensure that I use this guide to mainstream DRR-CCA into the CDP. Scenario number 3 naman po, ayan, wala ka pa rin CDP, pero meron kang CLUP na DRR mainstream. Ginamit mo yung HLURB guideline. So, pwede ka na mag-build doon sa situational analysis na ginamit or yung ecological profile. Pwede mong gamitin yung ecological profile na ginamit mo doon sa enhanced CLUP mo. Then, you can proceed sa preparation or updating ng iyong CDP using this guide, yung CDP Plus guide. And for scenario 4, yan, for mainstreaming, with recently approved CDP, pero with or without being risk informed at saka same doon sa CLUP. So ito po, isa case kahapon, isang LGU sa Oriental, ito yung case nila. So ito yung pwede natin gawin. Check if the recently approved CDP is risk informed. And sabi ko po din kahapon, pwede natin gamitin yung review parameters ng risk informed CDP. Later po i-discuss natin as suggested by this guide. So if not risk informed, proceed to chapter 2 and do applicable steps. So, para naman sa CLUP, if CLUP is not yet risk sensitive, enhance CLUP using HLURB guide. If without CLUP, prepare enhanced CLUP. So, ito po yung steps or ito po yung initial assessment natin para doon sa ating gagawing mainstreaming. Paano naman po kapag wala talaga kayong CDRA? Uunahin po ba natin yung CDRA? Kakayanin po ba na matapos yung CDRA? Sa tingin niyo po, ano po yung pwedeng alternative na gawin ng ating mga LGU kung halimbawang walang LGU? Ayan, so isa-isahin po natin yung steps nung CDRA vis-a-vis comprehensive development plan. So, sabi dito, organize and mobilize the planning team. So, mainstreaming actions, ma-ensure natin sa planning team kasama yung DRR, represented yung ating DRR-CCA concern. So, si LDRIM-O, si MAO, si MENDRO, and other local experts kasama dun sa planning team. The team functions include ensuring the integration of CDRA results to the local plans and ensure the conduct of CDRA or other forms of risk assessment. So sabi nga po natin, risk assessment doon sa work plan. Step number 2, revisit existing plans and LGU vision. So anong kailangan natin ditong CDRA results? So we have step number 1, step number 4, and step number 5 noong ating CDRA. Mainstreaming actions natin, review existing plans related to DRR-CCA for potential inclusion in the CDP or recommend updating them. So ano-ano nga po yung mga DRR-CCA plan? So we have LDRIM plan, we have LCCAP, we have CLUP. So process or methods na maaari natin gamitin, ayan, reflective review of existing vision, Pwede nating digdaanan yung ating visioning exercise or review yung ating existing plans. Step number 3.1, analyze the LGU situation. So, gagamitin natin yung ating results ng SIDRA steps 1 to 6, mainstreaming actions, identify human security and vulnerability to hazards. So, integration ng rapids or LDIS tables. O other alternative, pwede natin gamitin yung vulnerability and adaptation assessment to results and climate change projections. And kung familiar po tayo, pwede rin natin gamitin yung results ng ating risk assessment sa community-based DRRM or CB-DREAM. So ating mga LDREAM-O, pwede po silang makatulong po dito. 3.2, formulate goals and objectives. So ang gagamitin nating results from SIDRA is step 4, 5, 6. So yung assessment to summarization ng findings. So mainstreaming actions, and set risk management goals and include DRR-CCA objectives and targets. So ang process or methodology po natin dito sa sectoral workshop, VRG or the expanded problem solution finding matrix. Step 3.3, preparation po ng structured list of PPAs. Yan. So, SIDRA results na kailangan natin dito, we have steps again 4, 5, and 6. So, mainstreaming actions natin ay, ayan, for development sector, identify programs and activities as well as legislative and capacity development requirements based on SIDRA that would help attain the goals. So, inclusion ng PPAs from the LDREAM plan, LCCAP, or the CLUP. So, i-integrate po natin yung PPAs from those plans. And then, proseso or methodology na gagamitin po natin, and generation of PPAs through sectoral workshop, translation of policy interventions from SIDRA to PPAs, and legislative measures and capacity development programs. And so, step 4.1, 3 LDIP, preparation ng project brief. So, ito po isa doon sa mga tinitingnan din natin sa ating comprehensive development plan. As much as possible po, lahat ng mga PPAs na na-identify natin doon sa ating CDP, dun sa ating structured list of PPAs, dapat meron siyang kaakibat na project brief. So, gagamitin po natin ito sa pag-assess din ng project natin. So, results from SIDRA 1 to 6. So, SIDRA results highlighted in the project brief. So, titingnan natin ano yung risk lens ng PPA na in-identify natin. For step 4.2, yan, so prioritization. Sabi nga natin, merong primary consideration doon sa mga PPAs na may ina-address na hazard or risk na-identify po natin. Concerns na na-identify po natin. So, gagamit tayo ng CCC, Resource Impact Matrix, Urgency Matrix, or the Goal Achievement Matrix. Step 4.3, yung LDIP stream po natin, determine natin magkano ba yung pondo na pwedeng i-allocate ng LGU for investment program. So, dito, SIDRA Step 1 or the historical disaster or damage loss data include in the analysis of historical exposure the costs due to disaster and effects of climate change. Sabi ko nga po, na-mention ko kanina, yun nga, dahil yung risk, yung hazards impedes development, mahalaga na makita natin throughout the year, magkano ba yung na-spend natin doon sa, historically, doon sa mga dumaan na bagyo or sa mga hazards na na-experience ng ating LGU. Hindi lang po hydromet, excuse me, hindi lang po hydromet, pwede rin geologic hazards. Ayan. So, pwede po natin siyang magamit. So, historical analysis and forecast of revenue and expenditures. And step number 4.4, formulation of corresponding local resource mobilization plans. Mamatch natin yung PPAs natin dun sa ating available resources. Step 5.1, prepare annual investment program. So yes, based dun sa summary findings po natin, alam ko familiar naman ang ating mga MPDC dun sa tinatawag nating climate change expenditure tagging. So dun sa dulo po ng ating EIP, tinitingnan natin magkano ba yung pondong attributed for climate change adaptation and mitigation efforts ng ating LGU. 5.2, identify priority legislative requirements. Ano ba yung mga legislative actions na kailangang ipasa or implement to support DRR-CCA actions. Yan. So ano naman yung CapDev na kailangan ng mga LGU functionaries natin to implement din yung mga DRR-CCA actions. And last but not least, yung monitor and evaluate the plan. So paano ba natin gustong i-monitor or implement yung ating comprehensive development plan. So sabi dito, develop monitoring and evaluation mechanisms for DRR, CCA, PPA. So isa po dito yung ating climate change expenditure tagging and incorporation ng DRR, CCA doon sa monitoring and evaluation, as well as plan evaluation using RAPIDS or LDIS and CDRA indicators. So yun po yung proseso kung paano natin gagamitin yung CDRA results or yung risk lens doon sa comprehensive development plan, as well as yung proseso at yung methodology. Ngayon naman po, for the last part ng aking discussion, ano yung mga titingnan po natin doon sa ating comprehensive development plan para masabi natin na siya ay risk-informed. Una, ito na po yung CDP plus assessment. Una, ayan, are relevant LGU functionaries or sectors involved in the CDP process as part of the planning team. Anong titingnan natin sa form? Yung EO, creating the planning team or the work plan. Sa process naman po, DRR-CCA focal persons attended the participatory process. Content, inclusion of DRR-CCA focal person and EO, creating planning team. And conduct of CDRA is part of the harmonized plan. So number 2, does the LGU vision include vision for resiliency or DRR lens? So makikita po natin sa process, nandun ba, reflected ba dun sa LGU vision or current situation yung DRR lens? Sa content naman, meron ba tayong success indicators? Ano po yung mga samples ng success indicator? Nakalagay dyan, safe, resilient, adaptive. Meron po bang ganong mga statements sa inyong LGU vision? Number 3, is climate change vulnerability and disaster risk included in the description of the LGU as part of the situational analysis? So form 1C or yung ating ecological profile. Nakalagay po ba doon? Meron ba tayong disclaimer sa ating ecological profile using the climate change vulnerability and disaster risk assessment? Then, so ang form natin, as a proseso, CDRA or other analysis na available. And ecological profile includes climate change and disaster risk information. Also, dapat reflected din siya sa expanded problem solution finding matrix natin. Step number 4, yan. Meron po ba tayong mga goals and objectives na for DRR-CCA? So, Form 2A, yan. Sectoral goals and objectives were formulated, reviewed, enhanced to ensure responsiveness to climate change and disaster risk situation. So, risk-informed and enhance sectoral goals and objectives sa ating form. So, do you have DRR-CCA PPAs in the long list? So, titingnan po natin, meron ba na nakalista doon? So, sa Form 2A din po yun. Sa Form 3B naman, titingnan natin kung mayroong climate change impacts and disaster risk in the project design or project brief. Doon sa listahan ng ating mga project brief, meron ba siyang lens for risk at saka climate change? Number 7 is the risk considered in the prioritization of PPAs. Sabi nga natin, meron bang prime consideration doon sa mga PPAs na for DRR? And number 8 are prioritized na mataas doon sa DRR-CCA PPA included in the LDIP. Baka po na doon siya sa mataas na mataas yung ranking niya doon sa prioritization, pero pagdating sa LDIP, hindi naman siya included. So, we'll check that as well. And yan, last 4 po, yan. Are DRR-CCA PPAs in the LDIP included in the AIP? Baka naman nasa LDIP siya, wala naman siya sa inyong AIP. Number 10, are the proposed legislation to support implementation of proposed legislation to support implementation ng DRR-CCA. So, titingnan natin yung form 5B, include proposed legislative measures to support implementation of DRR and CCA. And next po, meron bang capacity development proposals para sa LGU functionaries to implement yung DRR-CCA PPAs na identify no LGU. So, workshop or CapDev. Yan. Kung meron po kayong separate na CapDev, maganda rin po na ma-harmonize natin or mapasok natin, ma-mainstream natin doon sa inyong CapDev yung for DRR-CCA. And lastly, Yan. Are there DRR-CCA indicators intended to monitor and evaluate progress in the comprehensive development plan? So, Form 6B po, yung MNE form natin, MNE template sa proseso. The MNE Strategy Development Workshop included DRR indicators informing MNE plan for the comprehensive development plan. And lastly, for content, yan, MNE strategy includes vulnerability and risk indicators. Bakit po? Bottom line, ano po ba yung kahalagahan ng mainstreaming? So, address issues of safety, reduce underlying costs of disasters and climate change hamper development. Lastly, development can contribute to hazards. And risk-informed decision-making leads to risk-responsive development. So, that is why, ang focus po natin for the development ng ating comprehensive development plan ay risk-informed or mainstream yung DRR-CCA concerns. Questions po? That's the end po of my presentation. Meron po bang katanungan?